Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing fantastically well. So one of the things that a lot of traders struggle with, especially me in particular, is always knowing when to make the right move, when to make the right decision, and when to press the trigger button and get into trades. A lot of it comes down to the emotional side of things and really understanding the markets and what's going on at that particular time. Now, it's really easy just to get in there and make wrong decisions over and over again, and before you know it, you're in a massive drawdown and you've blown all your accounts. So for me, looking at the next stage of evolution, especially with a lot of the tools that are coming out in the market right now, is trying to get back into some more automated trading, some of the EA side of it. A lot of prop firms have all of the EA's ability to trade them now, apart from the high frequency trading. A lot of those are banned. But if you program your own and actually come up with a robust, reliable trading strategy, there's no reason why these EAs can't work, not just for passing the prop firm challenges, but then generating automated income in the future. Now, I've had experience of EAs and bots in the past. I've actually purchased a few as well as coding some of my own, but never really stuck with it. And a lot of the ones we see on all of the marketplaces that claim massive returns and massive percentage increase over a period of time all look fantastic in the equity curves. But what they tend to do is fiddle the data and the actual markets by choosing particular instruments or particular timeframes to trade on and get fantastic results. But also in the real world scenarios where you're looking at potential slippage, news events, all those things that come into sort of play on a regular basis, then often the actual equity curves are not as good and they always end up going into a massive drawdown and blowing people's accounts and therefore not being the best thing to buy. But what I plan to do is build my own over a 5-day period. Now, what I'm trying to do is break that down into a 5-day working week and actually have a plan for each day. Some days I might get ahead of the curve, some days I might be struggling with it, but ultimately have this all done within 5 days. Now for me, I've got the plan together already. The first day is going to be really defining what tools to use for the automation. Now, lots of products out on the market already. If you're looking at what I've used previously, sort of eabuilder.com, where you can just go in there and type some very crude parameters and actually build on that, looking at indicators and chart patterns. We then see other ones like Capitalize.ai, use a bit more free text speech where you can actually type in what you expect the strategy to be, and then goes and automate it. And in that particular program, we have a lot of great back testing tools as well. Then we see ChatGPT. We've seen a lot of that on the internet recently where people are actually coding either in MetaTrader or in TradingView to actually create some of the actual strategies and plans to then go and do that automatically. So really haven't decided what tools to use yet, but I think our first day is really understanding what tools are out there, the best ones for the job, and then I'll make that decision and then learning how to use them. Day 2 is going to be looking at all the strategies and how these can be programmed into an EA. Now, unfortunately, the strategies I tend to use may not be transferable over to a particular EA. It could be I'm looking for a particular set of candles or momentum in the market to come through, and they might not actually work. So really understanding what strategies I can actually develop, program, and get working on an automated system, and therefore filter out all the good and the bad and come up with a robust system that's going to be reliable and profitable. Third day for me is really the programming, getting all of the ideas into the code and getting it actually tested as well. Testing at this stage is going to be very primitive. For example, does it actually place a trade? Does it place a stop loss in the correct place? Does it actually put in a profit target? And those sort of things. What I've seen in the past is where I've actually put in an EA and it's triggered into a particular trade. Because the price is then fluctuating, it then keeps triggering that over and over again. So it's the safety parameters. If it places a trade, it's not going to place another automated trade straight away. There's that cool off period for actually going in and placing another trade straight after. So always fine tuning things actually in the code to actually get it programmed correctly. Day 4 for me is around back testing, making sure that what I have can be put into a particular system and tested on a certain amount of data. Now we can go with data over 20, 30 years on a lot of the programs, but really for me that's sort of a lot of number crunching and not a lot of value. I would rather see back testing done over probably 12 months or no more than 2 years, because that's when the most reliable, accurate data for the system working right now. And then start looking at how we can potentially forward test that, look at in the live markets currently and see how it's actually going to work. So for me, a lot of testing there. And if we need to go then back and fine tune and adjust the code, that's that iterative process. If any of your programmers, you'll understand if you're looking at a sort of an agile process, going in and redoing the coding and making sure we can go back and retest and fine tune until we get it perfect. And really for me, the 5th day is fine tuning, making sure that the actual code works, the EA works, and it's all robust and in a position to be able to let run and let go live. Now, what we also want to do is look at what the EA is actually supposed to do. Is it there for passing a prop firm challenge? Therefore, we need to get 10% in, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks. Or is it there to actually just look at lower risk trades and accumulate money over a period of time? So I'll probably have both those up and running and really testing both those to fine tune and see what's going to be the best. But ultimately, at the end of it, I'm going to come out with a set of tools that can allow me to automate the trading and let them run on potentially FTMO as well as some other prop firms and get the challenge up and running, and let's go and get passed and get funded on a lot more accounts. So what I plan to do is document each single day and try and get a video out for each of the process and the steps, as well as all the lessons learnt and all of the pitfalls and downfalls. So if you decide to do it yourselves, you've learned from all of my mistakes and make it a lot easier in the future, and you probably come up with a much better product than I do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you again very soon. Cheers everyone.